It has just been confirmed Xavi Simons has ruptured his ACL. Season over. World Cup over. And look, my friend, I know we've been through a lot this year supporting this club, but I'm telling you right now this one hits different. This is Tottenham best creative player, their most important passer, their #1 in terms of quality in De Zerbi squad, and he's gone. Just like that. But stay with me until the end of this video, because on top of this devastating news, we need to talk about a transfer situation that is getting increasingly complicated behind the scenes involving Marcos Senesi, a deal that looked done, but that Liverpool and Manchester United are now threatening to hijack. So pay close attention to everything I'm about to tell you, and then let me know in the comments what you think about all of this. Look, let me just set the scene for a second. Tottenham are sitting in 18th place in the Premier League, 2 points behind West Ham, with 4 games left to play. Roberto De Zerbi has taken charge. There's a real project being built here, but the club is operating in survival mode right now. And it's not just about results on the pitch. The summer planning, the transfers, the contracts, everything is directly tied to whether Spurs are in the Premier League next season. That context is essential for everything we're going to discuss today. So, let's start with Xavi Simons, 23 years old. On loan from PSG, the Dutch international who joined Tottenham in the summer as one of the most exciting signings of the window. And on Saturday, during Spurs' 1-0 win at Wolves, a massive result in the context of the relegation battle, Simons went down in the 58th minute after a collision with Wolves defender Hugo Bueno. He tried to run it off. He collapsed in front of the medical staff. He was stretchered off. And then on Sunday evening, he posted on Instagram. And Monday morning, Tottenham confirmed it officially. Ruptured ACL in his right knee. Surgery in the coming weeks. Rehab to follow. That's a minimum of 8 to 10 months on the sidelines. Season over. World Cup with the Netherlands gone. Now, let me tell you why this matters so much beyond just the human tragedy of it. And believe me, the human element is enormous, but tactically, for Tottenham's survival, this is catastrophic. Simons was the engine of De Zerbi attacking build-up. In a system that relies heavily on quick combinations, positional rotations, and progressive passing through the lines, Simons was the one player capable of unlocking defenses with a pass, a run, or a moment of individual brilliance. He's the glue. And now he's out. Let's put numbers to this, because context matters. Across all competitions this season, Xavi Simons registered 5 goals and 6 assists in 41 appearances, solid numbers. But they don't tell the full story. His value to De Zerbi system is in the details, the pressing triggers, the half-space movements, the ability to receive between the lines and turn. At PSG, at Leipzig, at the national team level, Simons has always been that kind of player. A creator, not just a goal scorer. Tottenham paid £52 million to bring him in. Now, they need to decide what happens next, whether that's activating a purchase clause, if one exists, or navigating a difficult conversation with PSG, depending on contract structure. And here's the thing that really complicates it. Spurs are fighting relegation. If they go down, what does that mean for Simons' future? Would he stay and fight for promotion in the championship? These are real questions that will need answers, and soon. And then there's the injury record. My friend, think about this for a moment. In a single season, Tottenham have now suffered 3 ACL injuries. James Maddison, Wilson Odobert, and now Xavi Simons. 4 if you count Dejan Kulusevski prolonged patella issue that still hasn't been resolved. Add Christian Romero, Mohamed Kudus, and Ben Davies to the list. What other club in world football has endured anything remotely close to this? There are serious questions being asked internally about the medical department, about training load management, about infrastructure. And those questions deserve answers. Now, some supporters will point out, and fairly, that Simons' first season at Spurs was inconsistent. He showed flashes of brilliance, but he also struggled at times with the intensity of Premier League football. There were moments where it felt like he hadn't quite adapted to De Zerbi demands. So there's a conversation to be had about whether Tottenham should make the £52 million move permanent or use the opportunity to reassess their attacking options in the summer. That's a legitimate debate. But here's my take. You don't walk away from a 23-year-old of that quality. You don't. You support him through the rehab, you back the project, and you trust that when he returns better. Because that's what great clubs do. So now I want to hear from you. In your opinion, despite everything, despite the injury, despite the uncertainty, should Tottenham make Xavi Simons' move permanent this summer? Do you keep him and plan for his return? Or do you cut your losses and reinvest that money elsewhere? Drop your opinion in the comments. I'm going to be reading every single one. Now, we need to talk about Marcos Senesi, because what looked like a done deal a week ago is suddenly a lot more complicated, and two of the biggest clubs in England are circling. Marcos Senesi, 28 years old, Argentine international, one of the most underrated center backs in the Premier League right now, and a player that Tottenham have been working hard to bring in on a free transfer this summer. And look, for a club that could potentially lose Christian Romero and Mickey van de Ven in the coming months, bringing in a quality, experienced, left-footed center back for zero transfer fee would be a brilliant piece of business. The kind of smart, efficient recruitment that the Xavi project desperately needs. The problem? It's not done. Not even close to officially done. And now the sharks are in the water. Here's where we are, based on what my sources and the most reliable journalists in this market are reporting. Senesi has informed Bournemouth that he will not sign a new contract at the Vitality Stadium. His deal expires in June. He's a free agent. Florian Plettenberg, one of the most trusted names in transfer journalism, reported that Spurs reached an agreement in principle with Senesi. He gave his commitment to Tottenham, subject to one key condition: Premier League survival. Now, journalist Mark Bruss over at Caught Offside has added important nuance to this picture. His sources are telling him it's not agreed yet. Spurs are in advanced talks. They're really keen on the player, but no final decision yet. And that distinction between an agreement in principle and a fully signed deal is everything right now. Because here's the brutal reality. Senesi is not going to commit to a club that might be playing championship football. That's just the truth. And with Tottenham sitting 2 points from safety with 4 games left, the window of uncertainty is wide open. And Liverpool and Manchester United are both standing right there, ready to walk through it. Liverpool interest is particularly dangerous.
Why?
Because Arne Slot managed Senesi personally during their time at Feyenoord. He knows this player inside out. He trusts him. That's not just interest, that's a personal relationship. And in football, those relationships matter enormously. The Reds are actively exploring center-back options even if Ibrahima Konate stays, and Senesi is at the top of that list. Manchester United, meanwhile, have their own defensive needs with Matthijs de Ligt battling injuries all season, and they see Senesi as the perfect Lisandro Martinez backup, a left-footed Argentine who can play out from the back with real quality. Now let me tell you why Senesi makes so much sense for the Xavi system specifically, because this isn't just about plugging a gap. This is a player who would genuinely thrive in what Tottenham are trying to build. Senesi has started all 33 Premier League games for Bournemouth this season. He is second in the entire division for blocks, 41, and third for interceptions, 51. He has also registered 5 assists from a center-back.
Think about that.
His ability to read the game defensively is elite, but what makes him so valuable in a De Zerbi system is what he does with the ball. He is a left-footed defender who can switch play out from the back under pressure, and drive into midfield when the moment calls for it. Andoni Iraola himself called him very valuable, and Iraola does not throw compliments around lightly. Tactically, he slots into a back 4 or a back 3 with ease. He gives De Zerbi options in terms of defensive shape. He provides cover for Van de Ven more aggressive positioning, and crucially, he arrives on a free, zero transfer fee. That's money that can be reinvested into midfield, into the attack, into other areas of need. Now, to be fair, and I always try to be fair, there are those in the fan base who feel that Senesi, at 28, is not the long-term solution. That Tottenham should be targeting younger center backs with higher resale value, or bigger names with proven Champions League pedigree. And that's a valid perspective. He has only 3 Argentina caps, which tells you something about how he's viewed at international level. He's a very good Premier League center-back, but is he the profile that takes Spurs to the next level? That's the debate. There's also the question of reliability. If he's genuinely willing to wait and see where Tottenham end up before committing fully, does that tell you something about his ambition? Or is it just smart, rational decision-making from a professional in his prime? You can see it both ways. So tell me this. Do you want Senesi at Tottenham? Given everything, the free transfer, the quality, the tactical fit, is he the right profile for the club right now? Or do you think the board should aim higher in the center-back market? Are you worried Liverpool is going to steal this one from us? Let me know here in the comments. I'll be reading everything. See you in the next video.